I have to be sincere and honest. Most of our African American cousins who fictitiously identify themselves as ADOS, FBAs, and pretensions, they are extremely negative when it comes to seeking unity of purpose amongst our people. I don't really understand what some of our black folk think, that if they delineate themselves in a society where they are overwhelming minority, it's going to bring them some sort of advantage. It don't work like that. If you are a minority in a particular geographical space, but in the greater geographical space, you are majority. For instance, black folk or melanated people are the majority in population of human beings around the planet. I'll repeat. Black people are majority in population on planet Earth. We just happen to be very decentralized because of colonialism, slavery, and also bad economic circumstances as a result of neocolonialism. So if you, as a black person or black folk, you are trying to delineate yourself and put yourself in that little geographical space that was actually created by your sworn enemies, and think that you're going to be better off living with your sworn enemies away from the greater population of people who look like you, then you are an idiot.
This guy, and there's also other people that are complaining about Africans attending the Essence festive. First of all, I am not shocked, but there is something that I'm shocked is, imagine if a white person came on TikTok and says, why are African American attending certain events? They were only for white people only. You would cry racist. You would make protests. So why are you trying to treat African the same way that you don't like the other people to treat you? You are, some of you, hypocrites. It's not everybody, but this is what I'm noticing. And this thing, the war against Africans and African Americans, is stupid. Literally. It's very stupid. Like, how in the hell did it even start it? Even some of you Africans Americans, they don't want you. Stay where you are needed. If people are going online and making videos about the African American being at this event or this and this, they don't want you. Make your own event. And also what I'm going to say, it's not every African American who has this shallow, stupid mindset. Remember this. Some are definitely cool people. I have some of my friends who are African American and they're so cool. But this type of nonsense I just witnessed on TikTok about why are Africans attending ancestors party. You are forgetting your ancestors came from Africa. You go to Africa there, nobody's going to tell you why you have to attending a certain party because you are this or you are from it. No, we don't do that. So this type of division you guys are starting, segregation. You're forgetting other things that America's history. There's so many histories that are connected with segregation in America, the Jim Crow, the other things. All those things, you are just doing it. So treat people how you want to be treated. If it was a white person in America came on to say this, you would be crying here left and right. But for you guys, it's simple. Because you like to look down on Africa. And I don't know why you like to look down on Africans. And it's so sad. Because as some Africans also, there is also people that don't like to do this and there is whatever. Whatever region or whatever you go to the end of the world, there's people who are not good. But this type that I'm seeing, it's a big trend on TikTok. African American hating on Africa needs to stop. If you're gonna be crying against certain racism in the community, how are you going to end racism when you are being racist against your own race? Muriko no bushiru no kupena. Because there is no way anybody who's black will be like, why are black people attending this? Are you crazy? It's like a Chinese people was complaining about Japanese, that why are they attending this and that. And African Americans, please, it's not everybody, but this mindset somehow need to come to an end. I don't know what beef you have with Africans. I don't. You go to Africa, nobody's going to mistreat you. We all just think it's one people, one love. But this thing is, Africans should do this needs to stop. It's nonsense. Just think, if a white person came to say this to them, you would be crying, racist, racist. But it's okay since you guys are saying it. Rubbish.
Black American people need to stop identifying as African American. Yeah, I said it. We are not African. That is the problem. That is why Africans feel so comfortable coming in and infiltrating black spaces like Essence Fest, because they think we all one and the same, one band, one sound. No, 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 no. We are natural born American citizens. We've been here for 4 or 5 centuries, 400 years plus, and we still not identifying as Americans. We're not Africans. That's why they come over here and they feel so comfortable with disrespecting us, because they think they super Africans, right? And we the little peon Africans because they got the direct source of the motherland and they know where they come from and they roots and all that stuff. Of course you do. One generation ago, you got here yesterday. You are the true African American Africans. Y'all come here from Ghana, from Senegal, from wherever, Ethiopia, whatever. Y'all come here and you get your citizenship or plant your roots, whatever. You're Africans - Americans. African Americans. Black Americans are not Africans. I don't have no Africans in my family. Period. I'm from California. My dad is from California. My grandma is from Wichita, Kansas. My great-grandma is from Wichita, Kansas. I can go back generations of Americans. That is where the confusion is coming from. And then people come from different countries and they come in our home, our house. This is our house. Yeah, the other half of our house might try to make us uncomfortable. The whites, they want to make us uncomfortable in our house. We all share in the same house. But at the end of the day, this is still our house. The visitors are coming here and treating us like we less than. We can change the narrative. It's our storyline. We keep letting other people write our storyline and then get mad at the story. There's too many of us to not be creating our own narrative. Let's change the narrative, okay? Take back the pride in what it means to be a Black American. Start highlighting our successes as a group of people, our successes, our contributions to America as a whole. Highlight that instead of hyper fixating on slavery. Let's let that storyline kind of simmer down a little bit and focus on the inventions and the contributions that Black people make today and have made for the past 4 or 5 centuries while we've been in America, and start to elevate as a people. Stop letting people push us down with their own narratives and start writing our own story to elevate us as a people in our home. This is our house, not theirs. This is our home. We are natural born American citizens, and don't let nobody tell you different.
Many people missed the point on the Essence Festival. It did fail because it went too Pan-African. And this has nothing to do with xenophobia. This has everything to do with when you lose your audience, right? Essence started off as Black American identity, a celebration of our culture and all things as us, right? The nostalgia of that culture and that representation. And in times where people feel like that representation is being torn away, right? That identity makes you feel safe when there are spaces that remind you, right, that it's made for you and it's open for you. You got to remember, Richard Lou Dennis is the one who bought Essence. Richard Lou Dennis is from Liberia. So, of course, he's going to want to celebrate his culture. He's going to put people in charge that's going to represent his culture. So when we say the culture, right, we're talking about Black American culture and the expressions that come from the history, right, of our art, our memory, our language. But he's talking about a larger diaspora, right? He's talking about the Africa continent, which they're focusing on having them an African Renaissance. Right? And this can make a lot of people feel displaced and disconnected, especially during this times. It basically hit tone deaf. You know what I'm talking about? So when people are having these conversations about the fact that they're pushing it towards more Pan-Africanism, right, and going away from that Black identity, that is essentially like saying that, you know, it got away from DEI for them, right? And they didn't feel like it was a space for them. A lot of these experiences, a lot of these festivals, their attendance is down right now. And that's because when your values are challenged, right? And in this time right now, a lot of these corporations, they're very big, they're getting a lot of money, and their values are being challenged. And not a lot of them are going to meet that challenge and stand up for it, because they don't stand what you stand for. They want to make sure that they have something that they can profit off of. And of course, if your identity is connected to the reason you purchase something, then of course you're going to utilize that so that you can make sure that you express yourself and what you believe in and what you stand for. So no, it's not xenophobic to have a conversation about Essence failing, especially at a time when it was supposed to fail, because people felt disconnected because they stopped making it for you. They made it for everybody. And once you do that, you water it down. So this has nothing to do with hate on our African brothers, but it has everything to do with black people are feeling in America. And that's displaced and disconnected. That's why the Renaissance Tour is for us and is by us. And I make no mistakes and I make no apologies that this is the new cultural renaissance to celebrate us at a time where people want to act like we don't exist because they hate the fact that we got too much power. And we know it. Peace.
I would just like to say that this is just crazy. Again, I've never seen at a point in time of at least this moment, the digital age, where we have people that are so willing, and you can easily see it, to forego what it is that another group of people tell them, that they just want to put out the branding that they feel. Again, why is it that at this moment in time, Black Americans are standing still, standing 10 toes down? Black Americans are not faltering. We are not wavering. And we're clearly telling people that, yo, we're Black American. This is us. This is our history. Even if bloodline wise, right, there's residuals or whatnot or whatever that can be traced back to Africa. We're 400 to 500 years removed. So we cannot directly say that, yo, we are you, you are us. We're 400 to 500 years removed. We can't do that. It doesn't even make sense. Even if I had family directly out there somewhere, I'm not going to consider them family. We're 400 to 500 years removed. We don't know anything. We know 0 upon 0 upon 0 about each other. 0 plus 0 equals 0. Right? So we're not going to get anywhere. There's nothing there that is substantial enough to build anything directly from. It is just a barren land. But even with that, even with Black Americans telling people exactly what it is, people are like, no, we're all family. We're all brothers and sisters. And you guys just have to, stop being so hateful. And you guys got to stop branding yourselves. You even heard the African dude using the same terminology as other people here in the United States by referring to Black Americans as pretendians. And I'm like, how can you talk about anybody is pretending? You don't know anything about Native culture at all here in the United States. You're using words of which you heard other people use, and you're carrying that narrative as if it is factual, and you don't know anything upon anything dealing with the history of the United States. You can't even really go in depth and even explain anything. There are so many things that transpired and took place. It is wild. And for a lot of these folks who are African to get directly online and to be these talking heads and to speak as though that they know something while they are primarily on African soil, a part of an African nation, a part of an African country, is wild to me. Is wild. How do you think that you know more about how Black Americans are and who they are than they do? Huh? How do you think that you have more knowledge and expertise on that? Huh? That makes no sense. Like I said, this whole thing is wild, and it shows the disrespect, the unique disrespect that Black Americans receive versus everybody else in this whole world. No matter what it is that we do, no matter what it is that we say, people will show their disrespect and tell you, no, you're wrong about yourself. I know you better than you know yourself. like I said, what did the other African dude in the previous video said? He said that Africans are an evolution of us or something like that, like something wild and crazy. I'm like, man, if y'all don't just shut up, like y'all just bored. Y'all are so bored that y'all don't have nothing else to do, nothing else to talk about. So again, you decide to do this. And the funniest thing I want to mention too about this whole thing of labeling, right? Because a lot of Africans will sit up there and say like, no, I'm not black, I'm Nigerian, da da da, right? They'll list the place of origin, right? No problem, that's cool. I ran across a podcast, a clip with O'Shea Du Jackson. Back at it again, right? And there was an African woman that was stating how it is that she doesn't date black men. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, O'Shea is in Africa. So I'm like, what do you mean that you don't date black men? When you fully listen to the video, she's stating that she is Ugandan and she does not date the Ugandan men there, and her preference is white men. So I'm like, so why are you saying black men? Because you're Ugandan. You should say Ugandan men or African men, right? Like I said before, how it is that they're switching up and trying to change their lingo to basically match up and fit with ours after so long of them saying that they don't believe in those terminologies, they don't use this, they don't use that, they are this, that, and the third, and all this other. Like I said, it is wild how quickly people are adopting terminologies that black Americans have been using for the longest time possible. It is wild out here. It is so wild to see this. And the time span, the short time span that it is taking for people to, let's sit up there and start jumping on this wagon and referring to ourselves as black people. I thought everybody was just African. I thought that's what it was. I thought y'all would never call yourselves black. I thought y'all found that as like a negative, and y'all said that nobody is actually really black, where, just a certain shade of brown and this, that, and the third. And very interesting. Very, very interesting. But like I said before, people will automatically down black Americans for doing and saying something, and then slowly but surely other people will start adopting and saying the same things that black Americans have been saying and been proud of, and then it'll magically become something over there, and then they'll try to say that, we were originally sitting up there doing this since the beginning of time, since we were doing handshakes with God. Like I said, all of this is crazy. It is so wild to just be able to see it, but it is what it is. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.